Good morning and happy Tuesday. It's office day, and Penny will not get out from behind me because I have a treat. The girls came running out and she would not eat her breakfast. Gracie just about ate most of her breakfast. Okay, eat it, eat it, eat it. She's not gonna leave me alone, so I'm just gonna let her eat it. Anyway, I didn't think she wanted to eat her treat. Well, I mean, she didn't when they gave it to her because she needs to go potty, right? But no, now all of a sudden she wants it. It's okay, it's fine. Well, last night, about, I don't know, 7:30-ish, the mail ran kind of late, so I went down to get the mail. And as I'm walking back up the driveway, the door opens and I hear, "Miss Tracy!" And here comes Phoenix, flying across the porch, down her driveway. She looks both ways like 12 times. She runs across the street, no shoes on, runs up my driveway. I said, "I'm so sorry that I missed you when you came over yesterday." And she looked at me kind of funny, like, "How did you know, you know?" I said, "I want to show you something." So I had saved the video to my phone. I pulled it up and I hit play. Y'all, she was laughing so hard. She had no idea that she was on video. And she was cracking up. It was so funny. Well, then here comes Naomi. And I showed Naomi and she was cracking up. Well, then all the stories started. They told me so many stories, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to remember them all. But I think the funniest thing, Naomi was the talker last night. I mean, Phoenix tried, but Naomi was filling me in on her life experiences last night, all of 9 years old. And for anybody new, it's the two little girls that live across the street from me. So she said something about ding dong ditch. Well, I think I was talking about when she rang the doorbell, I couldn't hear it. And I couldn't hear it inside the house. So she started talking about ding dong ditch, which if you don't know what that is, you run up and ring a doorbell and then you take off. And the person goes to the door and nobody's there, right? I said, "Oh, I did that as a kid." Well, I think we all probably did something similar, if not that. She says, "Well, I told them bad kids over there that they best leave that white and gray house alone. They best be leaving your house alone because I be calling the police." And I said, "Or you could just tell them I am the police." And she goes, "Say what?" I may have fibbed just a tiny bit. Because, I mean, I wasn't a sworn law enforcement officer. But I did work in a jail and in warrant division and in... Oh, good. Did y'all see that bird? Lord, am I near a... I can't be near a nest because I'm not near anything. Holy good night. It was a cardinal. Maybe it was my mom. You know, cardinals are visitors from heaven. It would be just like her to dive bomb me. I said, "Yeah, I worked in law enforcement for 34 years, which is true. I did." She said, "Well, I told them to leave you alone." So then we keep talking, and all of a sudden it starts dawning on me. And I'm talking about the cameras, and I said, I get a motion alert, you know, several times throughout the day, so I don't really pay attention to it. They mostly come from the front of the house. And she turns around and looks at the front of the house, and she had this look like, oh no. Because you can't really see where my thing is, right? She kind of looked like she was in trouble. And then it dawned on me. I didn't think anything about it because these girls, they just come over, you know? Naomi ran across the street and ran up to my door, and she stayed, I don't know how long, 10 seconds, I don't know. And then she comes back down the steps and runs back across the street. And I thought, that little girl just tried to ding dong ditch me. That's what occurred to me last night while I was standing there talking to him. I was like, she tried to get me. And I don't have a doorbell on the front. But when I said I had a camera on the front, you could see her face was like, uh-oh, I've been caught. Yes, ma'am, you sure have. I know that you were trying to ding dong ditch me. But anyway, moving on. When I said that I was in law enforcement for 34 years, she said, she said, my previous job was making deer jerky. Okay. I said, deer jerky? She goes, yeah. Me and my mom go out and kill our own deer. Do you now? Okay. And she goes, yeah, I throw darts. And I'm really good at throwing darts. So I went out and killed a big deer with a dart. And it was the big daddy deer, because I try not to kill the mama deers. And I said, well, they're only in season for a short amount of time. And she kind of looked at me like, huh? I said, so the male season is much longer. And she goes, yeah, well, we throw darts. And she said, I'm good at throwing darts. And she said, I'd throw a dart and I'd take that deer down, and then we would make deer jerky out of it. She said, it was delicious. I'll be back. I'm fairly certain my dog has ADHD. This is the 82nd time we have stopped this morning on this trip. She still hasn't done her business, but she can't stay focused on the walk because of all the people outside. By the way, Naomi said Phoenix has ADHD, and she has a digital toy that when she's in class, she feels like she has to interrupt, or she gets excited or something. I forgot what she said. She has to go sit in the corner and play with her little, it's basically like a fidget spinner, but it's digital, has a little thing on the front that you touch, and it's, I don't know. I said, well, I understand her pain. I didn't have to go sit in the corner with fidget spinner or something similar, because we didn't have those. I just had to go sit in the hallway because I talked too much at the wrong times. She goes, yeah, that's her. I mean, it takes all kinds, okay? I'll be back. Hi. Now that I'm in the car and undistracted, well, we stood in the driveway for I don't know how long last night, and it was actually, we had a really good time, and we were doing some sort of silly dance moves and all the things. But Naomi just kept telling me of her experiences with dart throwing, and Phoenix kept saying, haven't you killed a bear with a dart? And she goes, yeah, but we don't want to talk about that right now. Then when Phoenix says something, she'll look at me and go, she's lying. She's lying. And I'm like, is she now? I think you are too. I started thinking, maybe she's talking about bow and arrow instead of dart, right? I'm trying to put some logic in her story, because I'm a logical thinker. I'm a logical person. So I'm trying to make this story work for me. It's not working for me. So I'm like, okay, maybe it was a bow and arrow. Maybe her and her mom went shooting with bow and arrows in the forest where she used to live in this really nice neighborhood. And then she said, there are people who live in this neighborhood, you jackwad. People don't even stop for this stop sign. They just fly around the corner, and they're usually in my lane when they fly around the corner. Okay, don't get on that, Tracy. Anyway, no, it wasn't a bow and arrow, because then she physically showed me that she was throwing darts to kill deer. Yeah, and make deer jerky. And this morning she told me, after she told me Phoenix has ADHD, I said, well, red food dye is, because she was talking about her in class, and they're supposed to eat their healthy snack first and then their candy. And that Phoenix always goes for the candy, but then she gets too hyper, and that's when she has to go sit in the corner with her little fidget spinner, for lack of a better word for it. I said, well, you know, red food dye is really bad for people with ADHD. It can make you even more hyper. And she goes, oh no, I make her gummies. You do? She goes, yeah, I make them. I get green gummies and I melt them down, and then I put protein and vegetables in her gummies, because she's whispering this to me, because that way she'll get her protein and her vegetables in her gummies. And I was like, oh, you are so multifaceted at 9 years old. I could barely get my clothes on. I'm gonna let y'all go. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next Tracy Tries, which, good Lord willing, will be this afternoon. Okay? Toodles! Hi, good morning. It's still morning. It's not quite lunchtime yet. I'm sort of kind of caught up on my work, so I thought, well, what better time to clean the office? I'm here alone with all my friends, and yes, let's clean the office. So I have deep cleaned the bathroom except for the floor. I will get to that. And I have gathered up the trash and, you know, doing all the things. And then I get in here to the kitchen, and it just looks like burnt coffee, doesn't it? We're growing a science experiment. You're blinding me with science. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some Dawn dish detergent in it from New Zealand. That's what it says. New Zealand Springs scent. Is that what New Zealand smells like? And I have some vinegar I'm going to pour in it. I don't know. The guy that I used to work with used to put salt and ice and water and slosh it around. And then, of course, he would run vinegar through that to clean it. So, I don't know. I'm going to try all the things because I don't want to put my hand in that hand in that container right now. So, thankfully, the water here is very hot. So, that's what I'm going to do first. But, ew. And I had to take off my jacket because it's got those big sleeves. And every time I came out of the bathroom, my sleeve got hung on the door. And I had to go back and get the rest of my jacket off the door. Don't you hate when stuff like that happens? I'll be back. The coffee pot has led me... Look at my gray. I don't know why it excites me to see gray. Probably because I'm going to be 60 this year and I can see it. Why does that excite me? Most people just run to go get it colored, and I'm excited. I don't know. Y'all know I'm weird, but whatever. You love me anyway, don't you? Some of you. Most of you. Well, I'd say all of you, but there are some who don't like me. But you know what? That's probably because they don't like themselves. So I don't give them another thought. To the blocked zone you go, instead of going in the corner like Phoenix with her fidget. Then you're just blocked from viewing my videos. Anyway, yeah, that led me down a very dark road, okay? Because I was like, well, let's look in the cupboard. Old Mother Hubbard and her cupboard. I don't know why I'm calling it a cupboard, because we call them cabinets. Cabinets. But it just sounds fancy when you say cupboard. Cupboard. I guess that's where the word comes from, because you put your cups on a board. Cupboard. But we call it a cupboard. It should be spelled C-U-B-B-A-R-D. Cupboard. Cupboard. Because we don't say cupboard. Focus, Tracy. Okay, anyway. I started pulling all the things out of the cupboard. There were things in there that had expired in 2017. 2017! It's 2024! I mean, I never checked the expiration date on those things because I don't eat those things. So I just assumed that people were bringing in fresh boxes of oatmeal and popcorn and sticking them up there. No, 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 no. They were all expired. Very, very, very expired. So I have a big thing to go to the trash. Doing all this has probably gotten me behind in my work because I was caught up. I have been away from my desk for probably at least an hour and a half cleaning the bathroom and the kitchen. So probably when I get back will make sure that nothing needs to be done post haste. I probably didn't use that correctly, but it doesn't matter. Y'all are used to me not using words correctly. Because I am the female Cy from Duck Dynasty, because he never uses the correct words. What was he saying yesterday? He was saying something. I'm still watching. I mean, when I watch a video from YouTube, I typically cast it to my TV, and it just rolls to something after my video finishes, unless I schedule what I want to watch next, you know? And typically it goes to Duck Dynasty, and I just let it play. It's like, I don't actually watch a lot of TV, but I like to have it playing in the background, you know? The most time that I want to watch TV is in the evenings between 8 and 12. That's my 8 and 12? What? 8 and 10. That's when I'm sitting and trying to prepare thyself for bed. You know, I have to get mentally prepared for bed. So, all right. I am here to pick up my lunch. Don't worry about where I'm at, okay? I needed ice for the office. My next door neighbor coworker said, "You want Waffle House?" And I was like, I mean, that does sound good, but I gotta go get ice for the office, so I'll be back. Phew, I'm pooped. I'm home from work now. Thank you very much. And I cleaned and I vacuumed and I did it all today, okay? I was like, holy moly. I did not expect to do any of this stuff, but it's done. I made all the trips to the dumpster, and I sent everybody a message and said, if you're coming to the office, you might want to bring your own coffee creamer because I've thrown it all away. And the oatmeal, and the popcorn, and the moth. Wow, where did you come from, little guy? I'll get him. I'll get him. I'll get you, my pretty. That's funny. I didn't know he was there. I went to the pet food store on the way home and went ahead and picked them up. I had to take some back. I bought, it's the same brand, but it was a different kind, and put it down, and the cat and the dog walked over and smelled of it and walked away. Now that's odd that both of them, because Gracie loves to eat the rest of Penny's dog food, and she wouldn't even eat it. And I was like, alrighty. So I took all that back. Thankfully, Petco takes it back. Bought some new that I know they'll eat. But when I got home, I will say this about Naomi. She may make up stories about throwing darts at deers, but I was backing in the driveway, and Naomi and Phoenix were out playing in the driveway, and Phoenix starts running across the street, and Naomi said, no, she just got home, leave her alone. And I was like, you get bonus points, girl, because, yeah, when I first get home, I don't want you to be trying to follow me in the house or trying to, you know, let me get in, let me get settled, let me get my clothes changed, let me let my dog out, you know, all the things. So I'll give Naomi props for that, because she does know more than you would think. But yeah, she just likes to make up stories, which I find incredibly funny. Don't you find them funny? Penelope loves them. Yeah. My dad just said, why do all kids like you? I said, I don't know. When I worked at the church, in like children's church, Sunday school, all those things, the kids just loved me. And I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's because I treat them like they're an adult. I don't treat them like they're a child, and I don't ignore them, and I don't expect more than what should be expected of a 6 and a 9-year-old. I just let them be kids, and I laugh with them, and I cut up, don't we? Yeah, say we love kids, but yeah, kids love me. Babies love me. I can put a baby to sleep pretty dang quick. When I worked in the nursery, shoot, yeah, I could knock a baby out. Knock a baby out. I remember going to I started to say a funeral, a wedding of a friend of mine. One of the ladies that went with me had a little girl, a baby, and her baby got fussy, and I took the baby and I put it to sleep. I put it in a sleeper hold, and the baby slept through the wedding. Not really. I don't know. Maybe it's because I am warm. I'm warm-bodied to touch. And I just snuggled her up close, and yeah, she went to sleep. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm all calm and relaxed. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, I love you. Jesus loves you. Oh, I hope he's coming back soon, because people be crazy. And I will talk to you on the next Tracy Tries, which, good Lord willing, will be tomorrow. Toodles, and stay silly, my friends, okay? Goodbye.